welcome to the Fans Perspective, episode 12, 45. We got my 44 in here.
What's
happening?
Shit,
Going
man,
on?
big challenge, you know what I mean? Little Super Bowl recovery.
Yeah, man. Definitely. You know what I mean? You know, it was a blowout yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a blowout yesterday, man. I thought the boys was gonna be able to catch up the Chiefs, man, but they put, the Eagles, they put too much points on the board, man.
Yeah.
Too far going after a while. Started to lose hope.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he definitely when the chips are looking bad, but when he could have, when it was time where it's like, okay, maybe he's gonna kick this back and he throws the pick six. It helps the Eagles out tremendously. And then it was pretty much just done from there. And that was early on. Then they didn't make no halftime adjustments, in my opinion, at least not enough to stop the barrage of points.
Mm-hmm.
I can go on for days because I didn't really have a dog in a horse in the race or whatever the saying is. But yeah, I thought the NFL was gonna I thought they were gonna go ahead and assist these Chiefs because, man, they've been assisting them all year. So good. I'm happy for the kid Jalen Hurts. He deserves it.
Yes,
definitely earned it.
I heard that too. I heard, it's a little salt in the game.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was hard for me to bet on that game too because it was just like, man, I refuse to bet on the Chiefs. Yeah, and
I was gonna bet on the Chiefs.
me too.
Right,
and I just stayed away. I just stayed away too because I was definitely gonna bet on the Chiefs because it's like it just felt like the safe money, but it was just such a good. We got the two best teams coming out of both sides, in my opinion. So we got the right teams in the Super Bowl. It just wasn't a good Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it just overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Minus the technicalities. You know what I'm saying? Minus the technicalities. All right, so let's just go over this real fast. I ain't gonna dig too deep in this joint right here. Let me see.
Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl 2025 performance has been slammed as the worst halftime show ever. Fresh off his Grammy wins, the 37-year-old rapper performed a medley of hits and took a jab at rival Drake with his diss track Not Like Us.
I don't even like you.
The track labels Drake a certified file, and despite Drake suing their label over its controversial lyrics, Kendrick performed it, but omitted the most offensive word. At one point during the charged performance, a man with a Palestinian flag tried to storm the halftime show, but was intercepted by security.
Uh-oh.
The rapper was joined on stage by SZA, and tennis champion Serena Williams, who was once linked to Drake, was pictured dancing during Kendrick's diss track.
Yeah. All right, so some people, some people didn't like. I feel like the people that didn't like the performance is people that didn't really care too much for Kendrick, because I was hearing it too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even I got a friend that's he's a big critic. You know what I'm saying? And he said the performance is good, and I didn't expect that coming from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew it was good. I mean, I don't know what people expected out of a Super Bowl halftime show. Like, it's supposed to look professional. You know what I mean? So Kendrick did his thing. It was well choreographed. He performed a couple of joints, 2 disc records, and I think a few other tracks. He had Sis on there. She was on there looking lovely. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. He had Serena there. You know what I mean? Those happen to be
Sam Jackson.
Texas. Sam Jackson. But he had Serena there and SZA there, and they both dated Drake back in the days. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
He did his thing.
The X has a symbol. They showed the little big X too, so that could have been some symbolism there.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the fact that Daddy, what you thought about it? What you thought about it?
Oh, I enjoyed it and then like, and then you know what's funny is because you actually said it. You're like, this is the end of Drake right here. He's about to put the nail in the coffin.
Got to lower him in the coffin.
Yeah, and he sure did. Like, cause like, even the choices, like first of all with the X's there, then he, and then he killed him with the, because he could do the commercial stuff. You know what I mean? So he does the one with SZA, but then he also does the other one with SZA, which was a smash. The one from Black Panther, where it's like even just lyrically on there, like some of the stuff he was saying, you could you could apply to Drake. You know what I mean? To turn his TV off. That's a simple to Drake. You know what I mean? Even the Pickaboo stuff, and you know what I mean, all of his everything. He's very clever, so he's definitely gonna arrange the songs in a certain manner. You know what I mean? And then even like one thing too, I was like, he spit some new bars like that no one's ever heard too on one of them joints in the very beginning. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, whoa, that's pretty tight, because he's like, screw it, I'm gonna go ahead and do something extra fresh and brand new, right? And when you listen to those lyrics too, it's definitely going at Drake. You know what I mean? When he's like, and then he did a mix of one of the songs from GNX where he used some bars from there too, where he said like, why do you think you deserve to be the greatest of all time? Which is also a shot at Drake, but then also kind of like he's a very introspective dude, so that could be just saying to himself. And then you have the obvious, hey, it's your uncle Sam. You know what I mean? Like, because he, and of course it's dope that it's Sam Jackson playing, because one of his more infamous roles was being Steven in Django. You know what I mean? So like him to represent, even though he's playing a role again in this case in the Super Bowl, he's playing Uncle Sam, right? Who's trying to take all your money. He's gonna be trying to take all your money, and like kind of they kind of representing the industry right there. You know what I mean? But it's not just like taking your money. It's like owning you, and owning you. That's another a form of slavery. And so then you have the red and the blue colors, and a lot of the red, white, and blue references. But then you see the red and the blue, they're coming together with the SZA and him, and you know what I mean. Whereas it could be, you look at it as the Bloods and Crips type of unity that Kendrick kind of represented with the pop out. But you could also look at it like, in red, white, and blue, what separates the red and the blue, you know what I mean? It's all white, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
They said he took a shot at Trump.
What's up?
They said he took a shot at Trump.
Yeah, I mean, also definitely like the video game references, like when you saw, like that's kind of what I got from the shapes. Were you feeling that? Like kind of like where like he's just kind of in this game, playing this game, and then obviously the constant hinting at not like us, and then not doing it. He's like, oh y'all bet, the little pre-recorded stuff was like, oh y'all better not do it. You better not do it. And he's like, then he goes into Pickaboo, and then you know what I mean. Then he definitely went into sit down, be humble. Which, you know what I mean, which could also be taken as a shot at whoever you want to aim it at. You know what I mean? Whoa.
Yeah.
Turned out on me. Yeah, but overall, I mean, I thought it was great. You know what I mean? But I'm also a rap fan and a fan of Kendrick, and I felt like it was like you said it best, it was a choreographed show. Like this was and it was like a rap show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I expected from a rap show. Like what people want, like pyro and people flying around, and you know what I mean.
I think honestly with Drizzy, he has a lot going against him right now, because K Dot, you got somebody that performed a diss record and dropped the album right after it, won 5 Grammys from it, and then took it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Touchdown.
Caused the touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
He took it to the house on Drake.
Yeah, so I mean, he got that, and then the fact that he's trying to sue the, Universal, that's that's gonna call for some BS to happen in that direction. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Only time to tell. I think Drake is always gonna make money, like this period. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like uh the level of artist that he was at, I don't know if he can come back to that level. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know if
then
he can have that type of pull no more.
yeah, I mean he's got to do it in like some reggaeton and some R&B and you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
you know what I
because
mean,
he
like
because he feel away too. He's not he ain't a man about it. You know what I'm saying? He still feel
yeah,
away. So I think all of that is work. Those three components is working against him. Is how he personally feel, K Dot doing what he did, and then him suing Universal. I think those main things are working against him. That's why I told you, a while back when we was on a JD joint,
yeah,
I told you that you know, it all depends on how he takes the loss. Because if he would have took it in stride, I don't think it would have had this big of an effect. You know what I mean? I don't think it would have had this big of an effect if he took it in stride, and I don't even think it probably wouldn't even went this far. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
because
I
he couldn't
think
duck out. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
I think he gets mad at like because I kind of see what's happening just a little bit. Like okay, when Cardi and Nicki was beefing, they took the budget that they usually use with Nicki and they put it behind Cardi. So I'm pretty sure with Drake, they probably did the same thing. They probably took money that they would use to promote Drake and they seen Kendrick going up and they put it behind Kendrick. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah,
made Kendrick, even bigger than he already was. You know what I'm saying? They put that machine behind him, but I feel like at the
yeah,
end of the day, he earned it. They felt like it was
yeah,
necessary to jump behind that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it
And
is.
I'm pretty sure whatever his deal is now, because look at Drake. Drake has to work because he signed a $400 million deal or whatever it is, right? So, this Australia tour, I think this completes that last little run that he had to go on. Like he had to do like 4 back-to-back tours or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's doing the album with Party, so we'll see how
Oh,
that goes.
word. And that'll be another tour too, for sure. So,
Yeah,
yeah, see, he's
but then K
taking the
Dot, but look, K Dot is doing the tour with SZA. SZA just
yeah.
dropped
Oh
a
yeah.
new joint last night.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a new joint last night on YouTube. She dropped a new project last night, so it's
Oh,
gonna be more.
word.
Yeah, she gonna have the R&B side on Smash, like you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. She's gonna go
Yeah,
up.
stadium tour for sure.
Yeah,
And
she's
like,
definitely gonna go up.
I wouldn't really buy into like when people are, oh, it's the worst. It's like, I mean, when it comes to Super Bowl
Yeah, what do
performances,
you
right?
expect
Like
out of a
we've had
halftime
some
show?
terrible ones,
So
right?
yeah, and my thing is like, you think it's gonna sound like how they normally perform when they on stage at a regular show? Nah, it has to be a
Yeah.
lot more cleaner than that. You know what I
You
mean?
know,
So
that was my one gripe. My because when we were watching it live, and I'm on everything under the sun at that point, right? And I'm feeling them, but right out the gate, I'm like, damn, you can't really hear him. You know what I mean?
mm,
I'm like, but they did adjust it real quick. But that first song where it's like it's a brand new song no one's ever heard, so it's like you can't really,
yeah.
yeah. Because then
All
I
right.
was like, man,
So we on here live. All right. So yeah. So rest in peace, Irv Gotti.
yeah,
You know, he definitely was a staple in the game. Like I said, if you know, besides the whole, I don't think the beef between him and 50, you know, I don't think that should be the biggest defining moment in his legacy because he had plenty of big moments prior to that and leading up to that beef, and even after, everybody hits their peak, and they they might move on from rap to movies, or just like 50 Cent did. He moved on from rap to movies and shows and stuff like that. So, but I don't think that the beef with Fifth canceled out what he did for the game. As far as Jay-Z and DMX and the whole roster of Murder Inc. You know what I mean? I don't think so. He went from, like I said, he went from DJ to A&R to CEO. So, he climbed up the ladder, you know what I mean? And he definitely did his thing. And I think his name is going to be cemented in history as one of the ones. You know what I mean? So, definitely, man. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti. Let me go ahead and give him a little salute on one of these clips, man. Let me see.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
First meeting I ever had, I was like, "We got to sign DMX," and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said she knew what I wanted to sign DMX. She said, "DMX don't sell. Your ass is fired." Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, "You think he's better than me?" And I'd be like, "He's nice just like you." I said, "If you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more like him." Yeah, but he don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a fuck. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At Me Dog. If you remember at the beginning of the video, it's the heartbeats. DM.
Yeah. So, fair use. But I definitely had to give his flowers, man. Real talk, rest in peace, Irv Gotti.
Yeah, man. Well spoken, man. I couldn't even. I just got to backpack everything you said, man. He definitely was responsible for a lot of. I mean, he has a bigger impact than I really initially expected until I started pulling back the layers. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah,
now,
man,
rest in peace, Irv, man. Now, this 51st big meat joint is getting out of hand. Like, I'm just like, come on,
what's he talking now?
Well, we're gonna see right now. Let's see what you're talking about. That's getting crazy.
My son's just bugging for this charger. Like, bruh, I told you don't go. I told him don't be barging in here while I'm doing this show. She over there knocking on the door. Let's see.
All right, so let's see what 50 talking about. It's up on stage. Okay. So
you trick Cuff off the street, nigga.
I never folded, never told.
You
never
told Tammy to tell, bitch.
That's the folded sign, always. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family.
Y'all gonna be disappointed when Lil Baby don't show up? When Skilla don't show up? When Fizzo don't show up? When all these motherfuckers don't show up?
I wasn't gonna address this.
Man, this nigga reading drops, man. Look at you reading this shit.
But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the sign, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family. Come out to the Amaran Arena.
He can't even go. You on house arrest. He can't even go.
I'm not trying to let nobody treat me off the street.
Oh man.
Tell, bitch.
That's before the sign, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family.
Y'all gonna be disappointed when Lil Baby don't show up?
Yo, Fifth is crazy, boy.
He is, right? I mean, is he saying I didn't tell on the technicality?
I don't know, man. Like, I just think, man, some people say Fifth don't, Meech don't owe Fifth no loyalty. I beg to differ. You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta. I think people gotta look at it from Fifth shoes, man. It's like, all right, you know, he did something for Meech that was beneficial, but he could have chose anybody. You know, he took your son in and got him together, put him in acting school. I think some people, even when it comes to business, they go beyond what's on paper. Whatever we agree to, they go a little bit further than that, especially if they, they have a level of respect for you. You know what I mean? And I think that if he did that, and when you look at it, I'm looking at it from his shoes. I mean, your brother starts dealing with, they took that picture with Cream's son, and then me, linking up with Ross. I just feel like that's kind of suspect, man. Like, you're not gonna feel so enthused to keep pushing, especially when you got to fight for the show to stay on TV. 50 goes through that joint every season. He goes through that where he has to fight to keep these shows on Stars, and for them to stop them from making the wrong decisions when it comes to the direction of these shows. So, you're gonna feel less inclined to do that when the latter is happening. You know what I mean?
Up too. Like this, the kid could have he potentially could have a career in acting outside of just doing this show. You know what I mean? Like,
really,
he's doing a lot for him more than especially in the industry where what I mean, that this type of alley-oop does not come across easy. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It did. Cream. He ended up putting out a statement regarding his son. Let me play that train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see something, because his son was saying what he was saying about Fifth, and he said something to the effect of "We gonna see you," and I think that's where Supreme had got that message, and it was like, all right, we gonna see what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just not. It's just like you can't put me in these situations, and it's like
and not expect them to react the way that they're accordingly, quote unquote.
Yeah, like he's all right. Let me play this joint so you get a better understanding of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Display of my son Kyle Robinson. I am forced to make a public statement.
Hold it back.
Due to recent events,
shout out to Gully TV.
The elevation to a place of peace and rest for my brother and friend Irv Gotti, and the buffoonish display of my son Kyle Robinson, I am forced to make a public statement in defense of Irv and his family. I do not indulge in idle chit-chat. When I speak, I have something to say. Kyle Robinson does not speak for Irv or Irv's family, nor does he speak for me or my nephew, Gerald Prince Miller. I was disgusted when I heard about the things he said as far as representing Irv's family. I regret having to take these steps, exposing his lies and fraud. But as a man, you call out those who make inappropriate or false statements. No one gets a pass. I would not be who I am if I favored him simply because he's my son. He is my son, and I love him. But I will never condone or associate with his conduct and behavior on the internet.
All right, so you hear that? That's when the son. That's because the son made those comments about we gonna see you. He was trolling 50 or whatever, but then the whole thing with it's like everything that 50 does, I guess, taking a shot at Irv or Meech, everything. His son is like he be trolling him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it went a little bit too far when his son said, "We gonna see you." It's like, we gonna see. You know, everybody know who his father is, and it's like you can put his father in a potential bad situation
Exactly.
where you got them people looking at him, you know, and you know he might try to, you know, he might try to file appeals and try to get from under that situation. So, you know, you got to keep it cool. But get back to this clip.
I let him know men don't argue and beef behind a mic on the internet. Real men move in silence. He had a choice, me or the net. He made his choice. And until he forsakes the clown show, which is the internet, I will never speak or associate with him, especially when he makes veiled threats talking about we. Who is we? Prince and myself do not promote threats of violence. We different. We are masters of self-defense. If you ain't talking about positivity or growth and goals, keep your mouth shut. That goes for everybody. Rest in peace, little bro. And mourn in peace, the entire Lorenzo family. If a person...
So
Damn.
you heard it from the horse's mouth.
Now I got the whole insight here. It's that's deep because like he's keeping it all the way true. Like, listen, man, you're cut from a certain, you're not cut from the cloth like us. We wouldn't be ever moving like that. And it's crazy that he outright disowned us. I do like how he says, me and
I don't think he disowned him. I think he checked him.
You think he what?
I don't think he disowned him. I think he checked him.
Well, oh yeah, he just said he said I'm no longer associating with you until you
until yeah.
So you're right. He didn't completely write him off, but there is zero communicado, I guess, or whatever the term is, right? But then Dan, that's crazy, man, because at the end of the day, like that's your pops, and your pops is in a situation. You know what I mean? You should have been vetted. You know, I mean, you should have already been vetted. So I'm not saying he wasn't properly vetted. He's just not properly following what the rules and etiquette, how you should be carrying yourself. And then, but I do like how he said him and Prince was like, we're masters of self-defense. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, and you know, because Prince is one of them dudes too. You know what I mean? That's now, he was like, right?
Now this one right here, this is some other stuff that went on. Let me pull this up.
But your son was willing to give you a second chance after you got his mother shot because you didn't want his mother to have your child, and your son still came back looking for you. Right. Oh, y'all didn't know? Big Supreme had Little Supreme Jr. mother shot because allegedly he didn't want the baby. And Queen's Flip had this on his platform with Benny. Benny spoke about this on Queen's Flip platform. And Supreme called from jail and had them take that episode down. But you thought we forgot? You didn't even want the little nigga.
Damn, that's crazy.
Nigga in Clinton. This little boy out here fighting for the love of his father, a nigga that looked just like him, trying to be just like you. And in front of the world, you disown him because he feels like he's trying to put on your pants and show you that he could be you. And this is how you treating him? I hope you rot in jail, you old.
We ain't doing all that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But hold up. In another one before I get into that.
Yeah, and who was that dude?
I think you mistaken me, my nigga. Even though I realized that you posted me because you really shouted me out indirectly because you know the industry don't like me. But 50 Cent, I'm gonna play along with you, my nigga. I think you got me messed up, my nigga. I didn't come here to ask you or to beg you for your permission. I didn't come here to ask you to promote me. I didn't need no help. I didn't come here to ask. This is what niggas got messed up from me. I came in to kick in the door and take and demand what I want. I didn't come here to ask to be reposted.
All right. Yeah, this where the internet stuff get too far. First of all, what does that have to do with Cream addressing his son in public? His son is doing things in public, and he has to. It's getting a little out of hand. So he's addressing it in public because he probably because from what I'm seeing on the other on other posts, they were saying they ain't speak in some years. So he probably not answering his phone. Who knows, right? So he's addressing him in public to get in front of the nonsense before it gets taken a certain type of way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Little Preem accepted that, that check from his pops and apologized and said he's gonna do things different. I got a clip on that I could play, right? So
yeah,
that's a father and son thing, right? So my thing is like, what the hell does you exposing this situation between his pops and his moms and what happened? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. He didn't disown Preem. He's checking Preem because the stuff that he's saying out of his mouth can be taken a certain type of way. Not only and it can reignite some shit. You know what I'm saying? So now when 50 seen what Hassan posted, right? He asked Hassan to take it down. You know what I mean? He got up under his post
because it is crazy. He's talking about, oh yeah, and you shot the whoop, and everybody knows him. That's crazy.
Yeah, he asked Hassan to take it down because he was like, yo, you gonna get that man packed up and sent to ADX.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Real.
Even though him and Preem, they got their issues. He's still the respect level is still there.
Yeah, and on some street shit, that's like, yo, Hassan, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's and he thinks 50's trying to shout him out. No, I'm just warning you.
Yeah, and his son, he was the guy that was outside that building not too long ago, right? He was outside like, this is my projects and woo, and then like people were throwing bottles at him.
Yeah.
And then like the next clip, he was like, I was shot, y'all.
Yeah, I think that, you're doing a lot for this internet. It can jeopardize your safety. You know what I mean? For real. Because you can't, everything is not to be played with. Like, you know what I mean? Everything is not to be played with. That man is checking his son for a reason. His son said something crazy. And he's checking his son before it gets out of hand. You know what I mean? But you have to scold them as the way a father should scold a child when they're doing wrong. That was wrong. You got to correct that. His son accepted that. He corrected it. You don't need you trying to expose what happened and all that, because at the end of the day, all right. Going back to that Queen's Flip show, right?
Yeah.
Now, Lil Preem had asked Queen's Flip not to cover that part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? About the whole situation between his moms and all that, right? He asked Queen's Flip not to cover that. Queen's Flip invited Bimmy on the show on the next live stream he did. He invited Bimmy on there. He asked Bimmy the same question that Preem Jr. didn't want to get into. And Bimmy said what happened. And that got Lil Preem upset. And some things went on behind the scenes behind that.
Yeah.
Where Preem ended up calling it and telling them to take the show down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end, like, that's all alleged. I don't want this man getting pimped, that's alleged. You feel me?
Yeah, and like, you can't just be throwing that out there, because now you're gonna open up, Pandora's box.
Doing life for this man already doing life for a lot of stuff. So you gonna put that out there and put that on his jacket and then have the people looking at him crazy like, I ain't jacking it, man. That ain't right.
Yeah, that's falsy for real.
That ain't right. You know what I mean? But his son, let me show you what his son did, which is cool. I like to see it all come back full circle. Let me see. Okay, was it this one? Nah, it's not that one. Yeah. So this one, he apologized to his pops. You know what I mean? And you know, I like to see stuff like that come back full circle because at the end of the day, you know,
Yeah.
certain things, you know, you gotta, you know, you come from royalty, man. Like, you know, you gotta move a certain way. You feel me?
Yeah, for real.
You know. All right, so
You know, take accountability and out. Stop. Yo, get off the internet. Yo, help me do this, do that. And you know, I went against that. And subconsciously I was doing it because I wanted to reach him in another way. Like I just felt like I wanted attention. And the attention that I wanted, I got the attention, but at what cost? Like I want to mend the relationship with my dad, and I'm not mad at what he said. Everything he said was accurate. Me engaging in stuff that doesn't concern me, or me trying to, you know, I was a son trying to stick up for his dad and his dad's friends, but I didn't need to do that because sometimes not saying anything is saying everything, and you know, silence is golden, and you know, all those sayings like that. So I needed that message yesterday to kind of close the chapter, close that chapter, and move on to the next phase of my life, and you know, take accountability and you know, move on and understand and enjoy the rest of the time that we have here on earth, because we don't know how long we're gonna be on earth. And the biggest thing is accountability for my actions. And he wasn't wrong for nothing he said. Like he was dead on, and I respect everything he was saying, and I understand. And I hope that that is the first steps for us repairing our relationship. I want to apologize to Irv's family. Like I was way out of line for speaking for y'all. I should have never even said anything. I apologize for that. I want to apologize to my mother because I know with all the stuff going on in the news and the media and on the blogs, I know she's getting that at work, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. And the list is I'm gonna apologize to my family.
yeah.
I'm glad he apologized, but ironically, it's still he's on the internet doing this shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, if it started on the internet, then it should end on the
Yeah,
internet.
I get it, but still, it's like, you know.
Yeah, you know, like
And how old is the kid? How old is the kid?
He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s. I don't know his exact age, but I know he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, you know.
I mean, you know.
Gotta know a little better.
Yeah, like, you know, so, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm glad it came back full circle, man, and all that stuff got. Now, for you know, for Hassan, and you know, if you want to do that and keep going that direction, God bless him. You know,
Yeah.
you know, because I just
he been wanting to crash out like so bad, like doing all these things when it's like someone's gonna like why he wants somebody to crash out on him. I should say, you know what I mean?
I mean, you campaign enough, you're gonna get elected. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I like that one.
You know, that's just what it is, you know. So, I mean,
yeah, man. God bless.
I don't know what to say with that. God bless him. Shout out to Hassan Campbell. Yeah. But
he's waiting for that Vlad interview, and then he knows he made it now.
Maybe so. Okay, so now moving on to the next joint, right? Yeah. Getting into so this is a tweet that we was chopping it up about the other day, Lil Duval, right? So he was saying He said that women made a lot of other women millionaires from doing shit they realized that they could do for themselves for free. We build a business and even a lifestyle, off an economy that wasn't even designed to last long. Then flip it and complain because nobody want to pay the price. So in the comment, he said, we just got to come back down to reality. We think we're bigger than what we are. And in the midst of chancing and wanting more, we downplaying how far we have really come in a short time. Right now, second part of that tweet, it said, right now, we're playing billionaire games with $1,000 economy. We think our economy is bigger because we see others get it, but we don't realize that's not our money. That's their ecosystem. Once we understand we're not as big as we think we are, and we got to build our own wealth, we're going to be straight. But we have to accept it won't be no time soon. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, I love that he has the wherewithal that you know. I mean, it might not happen anytime soon, but if they could realize this now and lay the groundwork for the future generations, you know what I mean?
I think that's what's being sold on the internet. I think on social media they sell this get rich quick thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like I think it's a lot of it started happening. It's been happening, but I think they doubled down when COVID happened. Like the scams just got crazy. Everybody feel like they could just get rich overnight because and like like the whole COVID thing. It was like a false sense of success, like overnight success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
to get everybody bread.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody getting their money
people,
on. And
people found a
so
way
now,
to scam and take other people's bread. You know
exactly. So now people feel like, oh, everything's like that. You could just do this, do that, do this. And it's like, nah, that's not how this thing is. Everything's a process. Everything requires, time, money, effort, the whole nine, So I think people are really starting to see that now these days. Like things is not as easy as it's promoted as. That's why, you can't sell somebody business. I'm always like skeptical of people that try to sell you entrepreneurialism and business.
Yeah.
Like if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, I can't sell you that because are you even prepared for the amount of work that you got to put in to even see that at its peak? You know what I mean?
Click this link. Click this link and download the course, and then you know what I mean? Like you see those all day, every day. Somebody trying to sell sell their blueprint of how they got successful, quote unquote. You know what I mean? You don't. These people could be actors for all we know, and those little youth. And you see them all the time. They're walking around just on their phone, like showing their cars and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the the falsehoods of these lifestyles, the reality is not being the grit, the grind, the everyday in and out is not being shown. The only thing that's being shown is the success. It takes years to become an overnight success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think people don't. Yeah, I think people don't understand it. Like, look at Cash Money Records. They've been popping since '89. A lot of these big companies out here, Walmart, Amazon. Amazon started in the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that people, you can't, you have to be wary of people trying to sell you a lifestyle. You know what I mean? And not to buy into somebody trying to sell you a lifestyle. Because if you're not willing to put that work in and stay the course, you ain't gonna see the results anyway. And the thing is, thinking that is an overnight success, it leads you to take too many shortcuts. Because you can't shortcut your way to the top. It's certain times that you can skip certain minute things, but the real meat and potatoes, you got to put that work in. You can't get around every single thing. You can't cheat the grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, and everybody's not an entrepreneur. Some people, I think I was telling you know, JD on his show, you know, I said some people are cool with just working 20, 30 years, making a good salary, able to live a fairly decent life and have a great retirement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the majority of people in this country are working people. You know,
Yeah.
just make
It's
sure
a
that you
vast
enjoy
majority.
what you do. Yeah. Mhm. Just make
Yeah.
sure you enjoy what you do.
What's up?
Just make sure you enjoy what you do.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, and I think that's so that you know that's the goal in life, right? Because then what's the saying goes like, oh, if you enjoy what your work is, that's not truly work. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of people, you know, they might not realize like, oh, okay, I'm living this is my career, you know, working a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like, you know, obviously, you know, sometimes it's circumstantial. A lot of times it's circumstantial. People got to work, whatever they got to pay the bills, feed the kids. You know what I mean? So you know, sometimes they're quote unquote dream jobs that they had to pursue. You know, now you got to see how bad you really want it. You know what I mean? You want it
You
really
know,
bad, you gotta double time your grind. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what a lot of people don't realize that there's a large portion of people that start businesses come from careers. That's where they get the money from to start the business.
yeah, for real.
They're just responsible enough with their finances to where they can save up some money, use some credit, good credit, cash, and a solid plan and knowledge, you know, behind whatever you want to do business wise. That sets the tone for you taking the business off the ground. A lot of people that started businesses came from careers. They came from high paying careers that paid decent money, and they was able to take that money and put it to the side, credit, whatever, and start a business. People think they just gonna start a business off of nothing. Nah, it don't work like that, man. Where you gonna get the money from?
Yeah, you
You know
ain't
what I
lying,
mean?
man. Yeah,
You know,
one of my boys in my home league, um, you know, he's a 6-figure IT guy for hella years. You know what I mean? Just went to
mhm.
college. That's what he's been doing, and then but he's been doing the tops, the card breaks for a while, and he started making bread enough that he opened up a store. You know what I mean? And then that store had been popping enough that now he resigned from his job for real. And this past year, he went full force. But you know, it was like 5-6 years in the making. You know what I mean? Before he was like steady enough, like, all right, I'm gonna resign from my actual day-to-day job as an IT for real. You know what I mean?
That's the
I'm
story
like,
for a lot of entrepreneurs.
yeah.
That's the story for a
And
lot of entrepreneurs.
he's on the WhatsApp just killing it, bro. Doing the box. I'm very aware what the box breaks are. It's like when you
No.
have a brand new box of trading cards. You know what I mean? In this case, football, football specifically. I think for him. But yeah, you know what I mean. The on camera, they're unboxing these things. You know what I mean? And then
Mm.
boom, people, and before they unbox it, people auction it on the teams. So there's 32 teams. You know, you might not even necessarily get all 32 teams in a box, but people will bid on the rights to. They say I bet on the Niners. You know what I mean? And I get the Niners $20. You know what I mean? So now every Niner card that pops up in this thing is mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's other styles of it too, where people will open and see a dope card, and then they can auction. I mean, they can bid on it. So there's different styles of it. But I'm like, yo, the dude makes a killing doing this shit, bro.
Yeah. And you see another
Yeah,
thing too is when it comes to like you know, generational wealth, when people talk generational wealth, you can't sell people that either. And you building something that I know there's different categories of generational wealth because you can
yeah,
leave a property, you know,
yeah.
generational
Pass it
wealth is
down.
for other is for something to pass down, right?
Yeah,
But some people think that like the way that it's sold to us on social media is like, oh, I'm gonna be able to see my business at its peak, and then I can pass this big business down. You may start something, and you may be able to sustain yourself off of it, right? And you'll
Yeah.
be able to make some decent money from it while you're alive, and it may outlive you before it even hits its peak. Before it even climaxes, you might be out of here. The owner of Walmart, the owner of some of these companies that been around, PC Richards and stuff like that. Like a lot of these owners, they seen a few million, but they didn't get to see the peak before God called them back home. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point of generational wealth is to have whatever you build outlive you. You know what I mean?
That's deep, right? Because man, you couldn't have said it any better, bro. Your generational wealth is something that needs to outlive you.
Definitely. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, so you can't sell that to nobody. That's why I say, like, people try to sell people lifestyles on the internet, and it's like, nah, if that ain't you, that ain't you. You got to find something that's for you. You only gonna get the maximum benefit out of something that is for you. So but that's how most people start businesses, man. They start from a career, so people don't want to do the legwork, get a career to get the capital to even have the chance to start a business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you come from a trust, unless you're a trust fund baby or something like that. If you don't have no income, how you gonna get a?
If you're a hell of a salesman where you're already selling your idea on to an investor where they're like, yeah, I'll take a shot, you know what I mean? Because there is such a thing as angel investors and whatnot, but you still have to be a hell of a salesman too, right? To be able to get your pitch across. Or even if you're going to the bank trying to get a business loan or whatever, you got to have all the right things in place, like you said too, a job. You know what I mean? Whether you get your credit right, all this, you know what I mean? There's things that require, and there's separate ways to get there.
Yeah, and you have to be skilled in what you're starting a business in. You have to know the ins and outs of what you start a business in, or else you could lose your investment.
Yeah, it's got to be something that's already going. Like them things on the Shark Tank. Obviously, they see many seasons of that show where you see
Great
people
show.
come in. Yeah, they say, hey man, how much money are you making already off of it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And those are the ones that's like, well, what, or even if it's not, if it's something they feel like right out the gate, like, listen, I feel like this could work. I'll put money on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it was a hard sell, or at least even if they didn't think they were into it, it was. I think it was what was the kids? They had the cookies. I forget what kind of thing. These kids, they had this cookie brand, but it blew up. You know what I mean? But they had the wherewithal. They said, okay, we know we can work this. Even though someone wasn't sold on it, they're like, oh, I'll invest in it. I think this will work, and it worked. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
There's always different. Everything's a case by case, and I think that's what I'll leave it on for my last little thoughts on it, is that it's all case by case, and people are just being sold on this unachievable dream, so to speak, when they really can get grounded and if they wanted to achieve something like that, I mean, being grounded and finding somewhere as realistic is the start. You know what I mean? There's no overnight. Like you said it earlier, man. It takes years to be an overnight success. You know what I mean?
For sure. All right, man. Tell people where they can find you at, bro.
Yeah, man. On Instagram it's GenWealthNet _. It's GEN Wealth Net, all one word, and then followed by _. And check me out on YouTube /GenWealthNet, and anywhere you consume your music, check me out. Bogard Scott Free.
Yes, sir. You catch me on From a Fan's Perspective on YouTube. My Instagram is BoogieVision45. Check me out, and we out of here.
Peace.
Peace.